Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. And today we are going to be grilling an Argentine asado, but we're going to be doing it vertical spit style. And this Argentine way of cooking, which is called a la estaca or al asador, is probably one of the most famous ways that Argentina is known for grilling, but probably the one you don't see the most on the internet. So today I'm going to show you my estaca, and then I'm going to show you the two pieces of meat I'm going to be cooking, along with some chorizo, some sausages, and always a few sides. Okay guys, so here you can see we have the spit, and it's also known as asador or estaca in Argentina. And it is basically a cage or a frame, which looks like it's used something out of the medieval times, no joke. But it is a frame, a steel frame where we hang the meat, and then the meat is basically vertical on the spit. And that means that the juices flow in a different way to they would do traditionally if you're just on a normal grill. It's a completely different way of cooking, and again, it has its pros and cons, and most important thing is obviously the weather. So if it is very windy, it's not a very good way to grill. But if you want a very unique taste, then it is one of, I would say, one of the most unique ways of grilling in Argentina. And as always, we have our two most treasured guests. Always like to eat our barbecues, always like to eat our asados, and they're over there sleeping on the patio in the shade, fortunately for them. Okay guys, so I've come inside and I've brought in my rack because you don't want to assemble your estaca on the grill over there next to the flames. It's super hot and it's just really uncomfortable. The best way you can do it is you pop it out. So this actually has I'll show you now, it has like a steel rod that goes all the way through and goes into like a socket, into a hole inside my grill. You take it out, you pop it out, and then once you've done with that, you lie it on a table, make sure it's super clean, get off, any excess fat or grease or, whatever. And then you want to lay it like on the grill, make sure it's really well hooked and secured in, and then you take it and put it vertically, because if not, the meat is going to slip through and that's not going to be a good situation. Okay, so as you can see, I've cleaned it up as best as I can. There's still a little bit of like a, residue here, but it is what it is. Hopefully that will add to the taste. So I've got my two corazón de vacío, which technically is a flank steak here, and we are going to be hanging them one on each side, and then we're going to go and take it there and put it vertically on the spit, on the asado. So you're probably asking what side of the flank steak is going to be receiving the heat first. So you've got this side, which you have this little membrane, a little bit of fat, and you really see that all of the fibers, or you might say the texture of the meat is very, very obvious. The other side is this side. So we are going to be hanging it on this side first. So the fat hit obviously on the heat side first. So this is going to be on the upside, and then this side is going to be the side that is going to be receiving the first hour and a half to 2 hours of heat. Okay guys, so I've laid the two flank steaks. This one is a little larger and it has a little bit more, like it's a bit more heavy. I think it's from a bigger animal. So I've laid them both again on the fiber side up, because this side is receiving the heat. And now we're going to close these brackets. So this is going to come over here like that. And that is going to hold that meat in place. And as you can see, I've hooked the meat there at the top. And obviously I have kept I have salted it very lightly, because we're going to be using salmuera, which I'll put a picture here of the video that you guys can go over and watch of, that we show how to make salmuera. But we're going to be using salmuera to obviously keep this humid and salted through the whole grilling process. Very similar to a brine. Now the top number one tip for cooking flank steak is resting your meat before you put it on the grill. Don't put cold meat on a hot grill, and more importantly, get to know your butcher. Make friends with your butcher, because he knows what is good and what isn't so good. So that's probably my biggest tip to anyone starting out, is just get used to resting your meat before you put it on the grill. The taste is so different and the texture is so rewarding. So always rest your beef or your steak or your pork, even your chicken and fish, before you put it on a hot grill. You don't want to be putting cold food, especially cold meat, into a hot grill. And I think this can be applied to anything, whether you're cooking in a pan, you're cooking in the grill, you're cooking in the oven. Okay, there you go, my friends. We have the estaca ready to go, and you can use a bit of like construction wire just to like hold and to keep it in support, but I've kept it as it is, and we're going to go now put it on the grill. Okay guys, so the meat is on the grill, and as you can see, we're just going to keep this heat really stable and consistent for the next 2 hours, and then we're going to turn it around, so we're going to do the other side. And during this slow grilling process on the Asador, we're going to be putting salmuera, which is brine, which again, I'll put a picture up here, and you can see my other video about how to make salmuera. We're going to be putting salmuera on during the whole grilling process, like every half an hour. This helps keep the outer layer, you might say, the outer fibers, that gives you that crisp. It keeps it humid, it gives you that crisp, that unique crisp, and that has a bunch of good things. It has oregano, it has fresh rosemary, thyme, garlic, salt, pepper, and just warm water. And this is really what gives it that unique taste and keeps it juicy through the whole grilling process. So the way this works is you have the fire there on the left, and obviously the meat is up here on the right. It's now on a little bit of an angle, it's not perfectly 90 degrees, and what this does is basically the heat indirectly slow roasts the meat. And the idea here is that as this grilling process goes on, I will start to move, might say, embers from here to around this area here in the fire pit. Wow, guys, this is the best navel board out. Look at this. We have homemade tzatziki, we have cheese, we have cherry tomatoes, we have hummus, we have whole grain bread, we have chutney, a few veggies. So after being in the pool for the last 2 hours, not really, it's time to turn it around. Okay, so we've been on this side now for 2 hours, and as you can see, this fiber here, this hydration here is because of the salmuera. So this is super good. This is a great spot to turn around. So we're going to turn it around now, and we're going to keep it on the other side for around 45 minutes, and then we are going to take it off, let it rest, and then slice it out. Okay guys, so I'm going to take it off without disturbing the meat, and I'm going to turn it around without the meat cooling, which is the hardest bit. The idea here is that when I grill it back in the spot, definitely the funnest part of this is being there. So, come on, I'll show you. These clits here are holding it in place. That being said, this one here is basically not doing anything because it is not. The piece of meat is so small. If you're doing a whole rack, then obviously it will hold the whole thing in position. Okay guys, so I'm putting on the salmuera. Now this is a bit messy, to be honest, but you can get some glass jars that will really help distributing this. And remember, this is not chimichurri. This is salt water brine, just with a few more spices: thyme, rosemary, oregano, salt, and pepper. The idea here is that you keep the meat humid and moist on the outer surface of the whole grilling process. So when you take it off, there's that beautiful crispy crust. Keeps it humid. Okay guys, so I'm going to start taking it off now. It's been on there for 3 hours in total, and yeah, it's ready to take off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these up, because as it gets smaller at the bottom, these clamps get tighter. Super hot. This metal is boiling hot. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off this one first. I'm going to leave this one on, and I'm going to come and get this. So I've just got one hook there at the top. The first thing I'm going to do is lift this up a bit. There you go. And then you're going to get my knife. What I'm going to do, you don't want to lose this right now. Okay. There we go. And there we go. There we have it on the chopping board. We're gonna let it rest for around 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna slice it up. Okay guys, so you're probably asking how am I going to slice this up? So let me show you. So if you look very closely, you'll see that the fibers run this way. So we're gonna slice it from this end all the way down to this end. So we're going perpendicular against the fibers. So the fibers are running this way, and we're gonna slice it this way. Okay guys, so here goes from my test. We'll ask my wife in a minute what she thinks. Okay. So first let's just okay, you can see there the fibers just So you can really taste the smoke, because it is partially smoked because it's literally vertical there for 3.5 hours. Fabulous. And I've cut it horizontally against the grain, which is all the difference for when you're serving it to your guests. Amazing. Okay, here we go. This is the quality assurance test. Okay, sí, approves. Está bueno. Sí. Muy delicioso.